Hey, there you go.
Hey. What up, everybody?
What up, though?
Welcome to this episode of Crucial Convos. It's your girl, F.L.O.R.
It's your boy, Emery.
I'm your favorite healthy hustling momager, reporting live.
Period. So, quick disclaimer, this week is the most greatest week ever. Thursday, my baby boy will be graduating. Will be graduating from high school, and I got people coming in from everywhere.
That's my DJ. I want to hear my mama.
All right, enough.
That's what you get when you got a musician as your co-host. It's just on the spot. Boom, boom, right there.
Right there. Bam, bam, bam.
So
y'all got me cutting up in the airport.
As y'all see, our girl is recording live from the airport because she is on her way to me. Y'all might hear noise in the background because I got my sister-in-law here. My husband made it back this week. It's just a lot going on. It's a party. But as we always say, dedicated to you all, we're here. Like, we are here. This is real life. This is true testament to what Crucial Convos is. So bear with us. Hopefully you'll have fun. We'll laugh at some background shit because not going to background shit.
Right.
A baby lost her mind right before y'all brought the cameras on. I was like, please stop crying, baby. Please.
And I had my husband cooking in 2 months, so I was like, baby.
I know that's right. Get to it.
Can I get this meal, baby? Hey, can I? So again, we want to welcome everybody. So tonight, I think it's going to get a little juicy. Y'all know how we do on the ones and twos of it all.
Not juicy, is it?
I think so, sir.
A little something. A little smacky.
Not the hungry though. So
a little whoppy.
It's kind of cool having, and I know Emery would disagree, it's kind of cool having two females and a male because a lot of things that Emery come at us with as super strong, independent women, we have to sometimes be swayed or we need a little bit further explanation of points because we instantly gonna go to WTF and Emery be like, hold please, like
y'all just listen. Listen. I'm gonna get this. Listen. I say one thing, y'all jump. Well, wait a minute. Hey.
We be listening, but we be taking you too long.
You want to be a victim so bad. You don't want to be a victim. Look, let's see. They telling you to be quiet.
That's right. Telling you to be quiet. Zip it up.
So. Friend zone versus sex zone. Like a lot of us just kind of look at it, I guess, in a super generic way, if you will. But I had to dig deep into the Urban Dictionary, okay? Because Emery be giving a description of Emery version, and then I be having to go to the urban version. Because some of his shit be on point. I gotta give him kudos. Some of his shit, I be like, bro, I'm confused.
Don't
But
worry about
right,
it.
you'll catch it up later. Right. So
Friend
basic
zone.
friend zone. Go in.
Okay. Friend zone is when one person in a mutual friendship wishes to enter a romantic or sexual relationship.
Wouldn't it go backwards though? I don't feel like that because we don't want to go into romantic or sexual include friend zone though, right?
It says one person.
Oh, reading is fundamental.
I'm trying to tell you. See, I just told y'all. Just listen. You know what I'm saying?
A little less on me. A little less on me.
A little less on you.
A little less on me. Okay.
You sure tried to come for me, but it's okay. I'm gonna serve you slow.
No, I was trying to see if it fits for our conversation. Don't do. You know what? We only here for a little bit of time. Okay.
I can't even make out what you're saying because the speakers in the background. Don't worry about it.
She said,
"All right, I don't need your commentary."
Okay, because I can talk louder.
All right, so we got friend zone. So now we're gonna hit sex zone.
Sex zone.
So sex zone is a person's uber personal space that should only be occupied by someone that they are having committed and consensual relations with. Right? So that's the urban definition of friend zone and sex zone.
Okay.
Right. So I feel like we have made up our own definition of the two, because of course we don't never take the time to always go and do extensive research, if you will. But I feel like since we've been doing this, because we do create our own, I always like to get what the actual definition is, and then we kind of piggyback off that, if you will.
Right.
So friend zone, I guess my first question is, have any of us been placed in the friend zone?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I tried to break free too. I tried to come on back, grab a
You definitely tried, yeah.
I tried to change my hair up. I tried.
So you wasn't receiving it. You was like, no. I want it to be like this. You like, give me a chance.
Yeah, they weren't trying to hear me though.
Wasn't happening.
What was your reaction to it? Like once, like how long? Not how long, but what did it take for it to just actually sink in and you just move on?
Well, I feel like it's kind of like the same thing that we give guys a hard time about. If I'm chasing and I'm not even the chaser, if you're not giving me a little nothing, then eventually the next exciting thing comes along, and then I'm
take my attention.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because you can only pay into something for so long,
Okay, so how same question for you. How did you deal or?
I'm still in there. A couple people.
Well, damn.
I mean, like I don't. So like, I'm just gonna be. I ain't finna sugarcoat.
What?
The friend zone for the guy that recognizes he's in it, he's playing the long game. There's been a few people that I've been able to break through a time or two.
Mm-hmm. If I was a guy, I would play the long game.
Because you know how it goes. Like some people, they for whatever reason they don't want you like that, but they enjoy something, which is why they keep you around.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? There's something there that they are comfortable with keeping, even though they know that and the friend zone is mainly, I think dudes are in there way more than girls.
I was just about to say this is we ain't gonna have 3 weeks in a row, right?
Y'all been doing good.
But no, I think this is the only reason why I was able to say it's the same one. Like some women are playing the long game in the sex zone, and it's a risky business because in either one, you never know if you're coming up out that motherfucker. Okay?
Right. That's the truth.
Sometimes it's in timing. Sometimes it flips. The roles flip, especially if you go. I've been in zones for years, and maybe we just came out of them zones at different times, but none of them was at the same time to align to the right zone.
Right. I agree. But I've definitely been in that thing, and I've definitely had to, wallow in it.
You was in that thing wallowing?
All right. In the friend zone.
Wallow.
Definitely was in the friend zone, waddling and hoping to get out. Trying everything. You try to, especially because you try to be there and you're listening ear because most niggas is trying to get it. So you try that approach, but it ain't working. I've been in a few. I've definitely tried to holler, and they was like, or what used to happen, especially when I was younger, they used to be like, "I look at you like a brother." No. And it's because I didn't realize what I was doing. I was being too much of a friend. You got to have a little edge to you. I didn't know that when I was starting off. I'm just like, talk to her, listen to her, let her, but then they fall, you're the friend, you're in the friend zone forever.
That's a good segue because I've had a guy say before, like, if you would have put the pressure on me, we would have been cool. I'm like, what does that look like? So my question before that, Emily, was like, do you have the conversation? Because it's like an elephant in the room.
Yeah, I didn't before.
Yeah,
I didn't have the conversation. I just hoped that it would just happen. Yeah, but now that I'm older,
my first baby daddy was friend zone that got lucky, and we ended up having it converted over to sex zone. Like, it wasn't a relationship or nothing like that. It was just straight cool friends. Then when it crossed over, it was just it was sex, and then we ended up having.
I was about to say, don't be creating new zones, girl.
No. It's just because I was going to ask.
In between.
There ain't no in between zone. It's either y'all friends or y'all fucking, and that's about it. Like, it's just those two levels.
Or you're both. Look,
if you can make it out of them zones to make it to a relationship, I guess.
Girl, them zones be zoning and spinning.
Yeah, I guess I said that to say that sometimes the friend zone can cross over, and you can have a residual remembrance of that shit. So, like,
literally,
like for a lifetime. So,
for real though, yeah.
Like, sometimes you should just really pay attention, and if you put them in a friend zone, you put them there for a reason, right? Just giving them the benefit of the doubt can cross into things that you never really, because there was no compatibility to begin with. Y'all was just cool. Y'all was just what up. So now you wonder why y'all don't like each other or don't talk to each other, and you like, well, I ain't done nothing to you, and ultimately you ain't done nothing to me, but one party always wants more than the other party when it's friend zone shit.
I had to. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, when you cross over into sex zone, it makes it even worse, in my opinion, because they really think they're getting somewhere. When your messed up mind, just like, I was just drunk that night and XYZ happened, So I don't know. Just be careful. What's that here?
I was gonna say, because I had one that we tried to mix the zones, we split the zones, we did all the zones, and it really was too long. And that's why I'm saying, even us having a conversation, I came into the situation like, we should probably have an exit plan, because one of us, I wasn't even saying me, I said one of us gonna get tired of this situation, especially if we're not pouring into this situation. And I was just like, is it because you don't know something is serious until it is, and when that's the problem. And I think I call myself having a good eye, having conversations, and at some point I think that almost made him feel like I was putting him in the friend zone. It got real weird. So I think if people, you got to have these conversations like over again, and if they're not having them back with you, then that's probably telling you that you still back in your last conversation and you just trying to make it something more.
Oof. You trying to get in, and it's always hard, man, when you really like somebody or you think you may like that person, and you go at them and it don't work, and they, and they bro you or sis you. You know what I'm saying? That does suck. It's like the ultimate rejection. But so for guys, we'll take a little bit like a little bit is better than nothing for a lot of us if we like you like that. You know what I'm saying? I think it can change. You know what? Somewhere though, if she's not giving you no signs, and you know you can, it'll, in my opinion, it'll change from friend zone to simping. You're a simp now because you just you know she ain't on you like that, but you offering money or you know offer to take her on a trip as friends. Then you mad because she off hollering at somebody else on the trip that you just paid for. You know, that's when all of that comes, when you're not aware of what zone you're in.
So, can a person?
What's up, Nisha? Sorry, by the way.
Can a person like a person and still friend zone them?
Absolutely.
Yes. I was just about to say, and I'm glad it worked out perfect that was the question, because I brought somebody off the friend bench before, and it's like he didn't believe it was really time to play. And it became so sabotage. It was like, it became like really, he became insecure. Then I was having to like overcompensate when I'm not really a jealous type of person. And it's like, see, I gave you your time. I've actually done that a few times, and it's like I gave that time to shine, and they wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, I guess you got to be ready. You know, I mean, if you playing that role, then you get your opportunity. What's that song, Eminem? You only get one chance. You know, do not miss the chance to blow. Opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
I'm
It's your
trying to say,
perfect time.
and that's all the time. And I think even sometimes friend zones, if it's really gonna bleed into some zone or grow to anything else, like you gotta be ready. If you in these zones and you really trying to move to another level, then you gotta know what zone. Like we said before, knowing what zone you really in.
It's tough too because guys, we fish. You know, so we're gonna throw out a bunch of lines trying to get any kind of hit. We throwing lines out all the time.
You hear that bunch? Bunch. He started real for a bunch of lines.
Okay, so me and Paris got this thing where we refer to it as men don't bait the hook enough to get the woman that they desire, right? Like they'll bait the hook for the simple chick versus the actual woman that they want. And by that, I mean, you not necessarily putting on who you are. You know, you still feel like you gotta protect yourself or go Dutch on a bill, or you know what I mean? Just those things that I guess you're protecting yourself. So if a guy is if a guy is throwing out a lot of lines, how accurately is he baiting the hook? Like, are you going for tenderonis or are you going for jaguar
goldfish, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like
did you say cougar fish? What'd you say?
At least I was saying real fish.
What'd you say?
I said jaguar, puma, cougar type. She just said fish, and it just kind of.
I said goldfish.
Goldfish.
Oh, goldfish. All right.
Just the little flaky food.
Yeah, no. So we put different baits on different hooks for different chicks. We just throw a lot out there. So we throw some at some rats. We throw some at some decent women. We throw some at some good ones. And there's times when some of them bite all that at the same time. Then you have to choose which one you're gonna reel in. You know, like whichever one you have a better shot with, type of thing. And sometimes you choose wrong. You thought you had that one, you had it on the hook. You pull it, and she done got loose. Now you done missed the other two because now that they didn't work their hook out of their mouth because you took too long focusing on that one. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
I really like this. Really made it make sense because I like to see it. Really makes it because it makes sense, especially if guys are supposed to be hunters. The problem is with y'all can't. I feel like it's really hard to multitask in any situation, and you don't really know how fast, how big that fish is.
Right.
That's true.
How much more powerful she is than you, or like you really feeling like you going, like Emery said, for that simple chick, who really don't want a lot, but once you reel her in, you realize you're a whole grouper that requires about
Got bones everywhere, nigga.
100 pounds of feed a day,
Yeah.
And then sometimes I feel like, especially depending on the type of circles you run in, sometimes somebody reels me up and I jump off the hook, and then I'm mad like I was trying to get picked up down there, and then guys, I ran into a lot of males that are haters because they try to have these things all over the place, and why people should be able to get to know folks. I think it goes back to when we define like what dating and what people are really looking for.
Yeah.
It's wild out here.
Yeah, the guys are the hunters for the most part, and that's kind of that's just one analogy, but that's a good one because we throw out a bunch of hooks because in real fishing you can go out a whole day and not catch anything, and there's nothing wrong with your bait. There's nothing wrong with the time of day it's not working for you, in that moment. But because we know that's why we cast so many nets, and we do so much trying to get, whosoever will. If them little rats come around, you be like, okay, I may just put them, these is in the sex zone. I may do a little something. You know what I'm saying? If something better comes along, then you gauge it. I just think it does suck nowadays for women to hear us talk like this because this is not new. But to hear it when you guys have thought something else, however you think, when you thought something else this whole time, and you hear men say, "No, you was just one of the people that bit first." I don't know if men would just say it like that. You know what I'm saying? But some do. But you're hopefully it'll work out. But if not,
I think they more refer to it as what did I hear? Like you my number one starter. You top on my bench or that type of analogy or whatever.
Yeah, you want to start lineup.
Right. And I think that's what makes them kind of feel like, oh, I'm something. When in reality, if you're not the main, unfortunately, I'm going to tell you, you're nothing. If you're not the main, you're nothing, because that main is always going to be catered to, taken care of, priority, like period.
For the most part, yeah, I agree.
This is what they're going to get it. It's going to be very minimal left over for you if he's taking care of her properly. You know what I'm saying?
And friend zone does really have two meanings. I mean, two different ways. Like it starts in the friend zone, but then you can be, really a special part of friend zone too.
Right. That friends with benefits. And that's not necessarily sex zone to me.
No. I wasn't even going there, but go keep talking more because that's what I was saying.
Oh, well, I feel like you can be in a friend zone that friends with benefits, and it's just understood that that's what it is. And it's not necessarily, no feelings attached to it. But when y'all...
How is that not sex zone?
Because I feel like sex zone is just how we always use. Hey, I'm about to come through there.
Oh, nah, baby. You ain't been back in the zone.
And that's just what we doing. Like, we're not talking nothing in between. Like,
that's mutual though. So
yeah,
how I'm looking at sex zone is how women look at the friend zone. That guy wants to be with you. You know it. You don't want him like that. You know what I'm saying? And so, like in the sex zone, you want to be with me like that, like your man. I just like getting it. So so you stay there as much as you try to elevate and get yourself out of it. For for some guys, I'll speak for me. It's just not, if you in that sex zone.
Yeah, AKA friends with benefits. You the one cooking. Of course you don't eat.
Yeah. But it's nothing. And then you have to have a little conversation. I've been in a relationship like that before, where I would, constantly make sure I'm over communicating, because for the most part, unless you just something up, somebody's gonna catch feelings after you are intimate so many times. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's inevitable.
It's just how it's gonna go. So I would definitely, try to make sure that I was honest, and when I felt like it was moving the wrong way, or she was kind of moving a little, hey, remember, we're not there, we're not on that, we're not doing that. This is what our agreement was. Then there's times when they would get mad. Well, it's been all this time. You mean to tell me blah 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 blah? It's like I can compartmentalize. I enjoy our time together in the bedroom. That's what I enjoy. There may be something about you that I can't get with. Whatever. There's a million reasons why people are in the sex zone or friend zone, but there is something mutually beneficial. So if you're in the sex zone, sex ain't enough for you. You want more, but this is all you can get. Some women will take that and be like, okay, or try to get it.
A lot of guys are not having that conversation that clear.
No, it doesn't happen.
But women aren't having that same conversation either.
At all, which is why I could possibly, because yes, of course, we know I've been in a relationship for a super long time, right? But it's like looking at situations, it seemed like they just both parties are cool with receiving whatever type of attention, right? Like they don't require anything greater than just that attention. Like I want him, I had those couple of hours with him, or he spent the night with me, or you know what I'm saying? But it's like that's oh, I don't know. These zones is hilarious to me because it just seemed like individuals will want so much more.
Well, you gotta think, like for me, one of my zones that went way too many years long, I had called off an engagement. I think he had came out of something serious. Ooh, hold on.
All right, we're gonna let her give a little second to get her life together.
And I was, super busy at work. So kind of the fun and the convenience worked for a mad long time. You're not trying to go out where our schedules are crazy. And then I think it just, different things happen for longer times when you're okay with the zone until you're not. Like eventually somebody's not gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was in that type of situation, and it definitely having those conversations make it easier, but it doesn't matter. Like your reasoning kind of go, you don't care.
Right.
About the explanation, kind of how I say the explanation. Right. Don't mean as much as we think. She didn't care why. She's mad about it not moving forward. You know what I'm saying? She would rather it be more. But in those cases, recreational use only. Sorry.
And then some people I think on the both sides, I think we both kind of blended the lines, because then it would even be time, well, all your friends have serious relationships. When they come in town, you want to make sure I'm always around. Well, no. We can't keep doing that because I'm not having you in my family. If you're that, then that became a problem.
Yeah, there's that.
Because the expectation is so much more greater within their realm than even discussing what it is that you want. Like if I come to you, and that's what I was saying. If a person comes to you and say, "Hey, the sky is blue," you can't necessarily argue, that the sky is not blue when you clearly look. If a person said they don't want to be in a relationship, how is it that you can argue that they should be in a relationship with you? Why not ask the question of, why? What's going on? Now, if a person don't want to talk about it, they don't want to talk about it. Okay, we got that part. But when are we going to start asking those questions that we're going to come out greater in the end?
Well, people don't really want to know the answers either. Yeah. Like, if I had that conversation today, do that mean we can't go to the rooftop party this weekend?
Right. Because it's going to turn into a whole conversation.
So you're not going to be cool tomorrow? Like, I just want to talk about this, and then it don't work like that.
And then, too, whoever wants more, they're seeing the things that you do. And if you do anything like moving towards relationship stuff, they're going to take that as a win. Mental note check. If they say something or not, that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? Because I noticed, oh, wait a minute, you called me just to say, hey, how you doing? Or you knew my auntie was sick and you sent some flowers. You know what I'm saying? Stuff or any kind of whatever you do past whatever, the person who wants more will see that as maybe this is my shot. And so they ramp up, they get a little more aggressive. Let me try to, here's my shot. And nah, it don't work.
So it's fair to say that individuals are responsible for hurting their own feelings.
To an extent.
A lot of stuff that I feel like a lot of stuff that we're mad at shows a lot more inner work that we need to do.
Yeah.
Because all of it is triggers. If it's making you that mad, either conversations haven't been had or conversations have been had and you're not being honest with yourself. At the end of the day.
And mad at yourself because you don't have the goal to just say, hey,
this ain't working for me.
Right. I don't like the way this is rolling. You know, this makes me feel such and such and such and such because you want to go to a party.
You can't be mad and puff your chest and then calm down and you. But I still mean what I said.
I miss you. Let me, you know.
Right.
And that's how it goes. Those types, though, there's something missing in their lives, and they have settled on taking whatever they can get from that person who they really want. Like if you're in the friend zone,
pacifying.
Yeah. If you're in that friend zone and you thinking like this is the best I'm gonna get from this person, I'll take it. Then you'll stay there for 2, 3, 4 years, and not, and be mad the whole time, because they're, like I say, somebody's benefiting. They're definitely benefiting from you being around. If you're in the friend zone or the sex zone, the benefit from the sex zone is obviously the sex. But the benefit from the friend zone can be a vast amount of things.
Right.
It could be you being there emotionally for them, or you could be the one telling, correcting them because they don't have nobody, or you could be the one taking them on friendly dates where y'all, you go to these nice places, whatever. It could be a million different things. But she's getting something out of that friend zone. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? She'll ignore all the little flirt. That's how you can know. Maybe we should give a class on that. This is how you can know if she wants you like that. If you say something flirty and all she does is LOL or doesn't respond to it, she don't want you like that. Understand that, and then just keep pushing.
Oh, I thought you were going something. We could do a whole thing on friend zone.
I'm trying to. We can definitely do it.
Males having female, because I'm not even that type of person, but there are some friend females that be out of line.
You talking about bisexual?
Like we're just
my brother.
I'm talking about, that's my brother, so I'm protecting him, but borderline disrespectful.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. That's a whole nother area.
I didn't of course. I done been married for a long time, so I didn't had a lot of bullshit happen. But I think the thing with me is I've never been a quiet wife. Like I've never been that wife that's like, oh, let me shut up. let me shut up because it's gonna embarrass Eric. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, no, because if I'm gonna be embarrassed, I'm gonna try to stop you from being embarrassed, but we gonna have to communicate somewhere within that. If you let some stuff pop up in my face without you blocking, you seen this monkey get ready to haul that shit. You ain't tell me to duck. You just gonna let me take it in the face. You couldn't tell me that she came.
Emery is distracted. He done missed the whole point now.
Emery got the point. Emery's just disgusting. Okay. Emery's disgusting.
He done had flashbacks. He done had the dreams. All of these.
Listen to me.
Just in that millisecond.
It don't take long.
But it just escalated.
I feel like squirrel right now.
Yep. I saw it. That's why I just had to stop you because I was over there like, did she say on your face?
I just feel like if guys, shut up. If guys are more honest with certain work situations or just situations that's gonna make that spouse uncomfortable, I don't think women will have such issues with the friend zone. And I'm looking at it from a different perspective, right? Of course. Because a lot of women, what they do is to have friends. Female
friends. Not opposite sex friends.
Right, female friends, right. So I feel like if they're more honest and not feeling like they're protecting her by not saying anything to her, but then I guess the thought that just hit my head was arterial motives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like in this topic, a lot of times we talk about stuff and in the end,
all right. Southwest on out to clean up. I don't know. Dang, they won't let you be great over there, will they? It's just that other friend. So there's also the friend who's around that really kind of likes the guy, but they know it won't be nothing. But they've been
The
the
long
protector.
game.
Yeah, she's playing that long game. So any new chick he talks to, she ain't no hater per se, but she will definitely overdo pointing out what she might do based off her first meeting her. Oh, the chick like that, she look out for this, look out for that, make sure this, that. You know what I'm saying? That's a part of a friend zone
And
issue.
I feel like being the type of woman that I am and having male friends before back in the day, long gone are the days where you can't really tell who is bro and sis.
Right. That's true.
I agree with that wholeheartedly because, like I said, those motives are. It seems like they're always forming.
Yeah, like I think people can argue all the time. You do change. You have to make changes when you're in relationships. And if those are really my brothers, they're supporting you. We are seeing each other's kids. And I feel like back in the day when people were arguing, they can't be friends with that was because they were doing inappropriate. Now, if they're like there should be no uncomfortable feeling if that's your sister or that's your brother. I
Right.
shouldn't be getting the weirds. It shouldn't be nothing, like that.
Yeah. I don't play with that, bro. I mean with that sis thing. If we got something going on, you're not sis. If we've
No,
had something going on, I don't care how long ago it was, you're not sis. We cool and we ain't on that no more, nothing. But I take
I'm not gonna
family.
say sis. That's your
Nah.
home girl.
Yep.
Something like
That's my homegirl. Yep. Something like that. Because it's disrespectful to when you're, like I said, I'm big on family. I don't miss that. So there's been some, I've kind of moved in and out of a few zones in the midst of that as well. But I won't call you sis no more. I can't do it.
yeah. And what I was saying, which is kind of like I say it now, just in case wrap up gets crazy later. But I think in this topic specifically, a lot of times we at the end we say like there's all more communication that both parties can be true. But for sure, with sticking with guys being hunters, I feel like this conversation really should be led more by me. Like with the clear, like if it's not clear that you're in the friend zone from your point of view, especially with this in and out, I definitely think this is a topic that could take more charge from our kings and my brother.
I agree. Having that conversation, but we got to get more okay with having these hard conversations. Because that's the thing.
Right.
It's like this is a hard conversation if you have to explain this to a girl who's already in it, the sex zone, and you never said it, or you just kind of how unspoken. She kind of
Could you
know,
see? Could you see Emily having this conversation? Because he gonna cover all the points. It might take him 45 minutes because he
but
gonna care about her
you
feelings.
don't have
But if she
no
don't get it
question.
by 30 minutes, he gonna say, "Look,
Girl, in the midst of him explaining, she gonna get up and leave. She gonna be like, okay.
They don't leave. They don't leave. They don't leave. They sit and listen. But I'm just saying.
because they hoping that maybe there's gonna be a time.
It's gonna be a curve at the end of the story.
That happens though sometimes for real. People really try to think, oh, wait a minute. I wasn't talking about that. Oh my God, Paris. I missed all of that. I'm talking about people be
I was like,
expecting.
tell us more. Tell us more. Is it the after hours? What's happening?
Oh my God, lady. What I'm talking about, Lady P, what I'm talking about is, them wanting more at the, hoping playing like the long game and hoping to come around. But then like after they start pressing, and if you don't want that, then you have to, then you have to, like you said, I'm gonna use all the words I can to make it as comfortable and understandable as possible. But then I'm gonna have to get direct at some point, and usually that's when, it gets offensive or stuff happens. You know what I'm saying? So that's always a big issue. Well, not always, but it definitely can be an issue.
I definitely also think that, like we always talk about, the protecting of the feelings stop them from just going and just being
Yeah.
more about it. And I think, okay, so within that, do people need to strengthen up, or do the delivery need to be softened?
I think we got to harden up, because same as Paris said earlier, people just want more, and they don't really want to hear the answer. They know, like if you in that friend zone, you know, because you want to talk at night. She not talking to you at night. At the end of the, you know. There's little we know, and the girls
she
know.
She don't respond to good morning until afternoon.
To the afternoon, and that's consistent. Or she go missing for the weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like she knows, So we really know. And then same as in the sex zone, you feel like crap after you leave. Every time. Or after he leaves. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially after you start to get the feeling.
I don't know if you feel like crap, but the day or so later, not right after you leave.
Oh my God.
Right after you leave, you still feel it hopefully in your chest. Especially if you got your shoes and you're all good. Okay, I'm going.
Oh my God.
P, you said you leave refreshed, you leave a little energized.
I'm ready to, take on the day or the night.
Do a little Pilates.
Or the afternoon, whatever's happening.
Man, I need you to be over there asleep or something now. Wait a minute. You can't get up and go do no 3-hour workout after we get done. Don't you do me like that. Hurt my soul.
Just depends on the energy.
You don't hurt my soul.
It depends on the situation. Sometimes I might feel like, it's time to cook.
I'm a cook. I'm a clean. Now you can go cook. Now you can do that. I'm a cook. You put it down.
Be quiet. Perfect time.
Want them tacos. That's what I need in my life.
Hold on. Jasmine said, when I was younger, and then when I left my husband, the friend zone and sex zone was the same for me. I messed with a guy, called my friend for like 2 years. I was so mature and thinking at the time, I did not know how to separate the two. But now a guy who I know likes me, I don't friend zone, period, because I'm not in the business of hurting people's feelings because people are crazy. Okay, hold on.
That sucks.
Anyway.
Okay, hold on.
I feel that, but that sucks.
This is another thing that really burns my wood, okay?
All right.
Did I say something? Yeah, but dang.
You got a wood?
Burn the wood? Wait a minute. You know what? You know where it's at already.
All right. It ain't my fault y'all minds where it's
You see, that's why his head right up under his favorite word.
You heard
it. I didn't even notice that. Look at that.
Eric talking about not the wood.
Right. Everybody on the same page.
Don't burn wood. We sorry.
So unfortunate that you have to play into somebody's like for you because you're afraid of what your rejection is going to cause them to do to you. Like, that's when I stand up and be like, WTF. Like, I should be able to tell you that I don't like you without you following me to my apartment with a crowbar trying to bring it to me.
You should be able to.
I have the right to tell you that I don't want to. You can't tell me that I'm not married and I got a whole ring on my finger. I am married. I'm not just saying this because I don't want to be with you. I'm married. I shouldn't have to bring my husband out with a gun or to
let you know I'm married, right?
To let you know that I'm married.
I agree.
Like, she shouldn't have to appease you just because she's afraid of what you're gonna do to her. That is just telling us as women that we really ain't shit.
Well,
for real. I can't just come up to you and grab you in public. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on. Like, that's when I get to a place of I really don't understand. Oh wow. She said, I've been stalked and cursed out because some guys don't handle rejection well.
It's real out here.
It's real out here. Yeah. I got a homegirl that was like, if a nigga asked for her number, she's giving it to him now. Because one time this dude slapped her because he didn't give her a number. I was like,
no, it was on my butt, but he definitely made contact for sure.
No, right? This nigga was like slapped her like he was trying to beat her up.
That's why I was saying it was on. Yeah, it gets crazy for real.
I think that's the dumbest. I feel like you weak.
Yeah,
you're a weak man. Like, if you can't take a no, you weak. She don't got to be the B word.
Yeah.
She don't gotta be. She don't gotta be nothing. But like, okay, it didn't work. Like,
Nope.
because if
And
you
you
out there
think you
fishing,
so cute. You think you so cute.
yeah, they do all that. That's not. Come
Mm-mm.
on. Like, 'cause look, if you play the long game, you might come back around. If you're not trying to act the fool, that's happened in my, in my experience. You get turned down here and there. But sometimes, it's all about how you handle people and how like rejection is a part of life. You're not gonna get the job you overqualified for. You're gonna miss your flight. They gonna say yes and then they're gonna say no. Something, but if you're not securing yourself,
Look, Lady P say, I'm so dedicated. I'm at the airport doing
I was gonna
my
say I'm
thing.
not missing my flight today.
I ain't
Yeah, and
missing
then
my
it's so unfortunate because you do have those extremes, and it's recent. And then you have the whole opposite, where like you could have just told me you can't out here,
right,
especially depending on your surrounding. And then don't let there be alcohol
right.
involved or anything
right?
else. It really gets crazy, even in the grocery store. It's wild. That's why I said earlier, like I feel like this topic really is where the guys really got to do, more of leading in the conversation of safety and what we talk about and making sure women feel safe and all of that because it really is scary out there.
It is. Dudes. Sometimes I don't know. I feel like now there are some instances where the chicks can be nasty and how they turn you down as well. I've experienced it all. I'm not, the positive, the negative, the stuff I don't want to tell nobody about. Like I've experienced it all, man. But sometimes, I've been rejected in a very negative way, and it puts you on your heels. You're like, I mean, dang, like nigga, like and it makes you want to respond like that. And I have a time or two. I'm not gonna act like I'm just perfect with that. But in those instances, not just because she says no, if it's negative, she, not it's still not cool necessarily, but I'm a human, man. So you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. But it definitely happens, man, and them type of things. They weak. And Jazz says, and they can be weak, but I'm a single woman, so I have to protect myself. I've definitely given guys my number because I've been scared of the what ifs. That sucks, man.
I've switched over a lot of times now. I'll give guys like my Snapchat because guys will stand there and make you like call
Make
you
sure it's
right then and
working.
make
I
sure it's the
will.
right number. And then I have to be strong and like just do your Snapchat or give me yours or it gets you have to do way more communicating sometimes than you feel comfortable. And they're very close to you. And a lot of times taller, bigger,
Yeah.
and ain't buying you no drink. They just mean.
Jazz said, I no longer let men buy me drinks at the bar. That's funny.
But then and then it's so sad because I feel bad for guys that come up to you and they say, I don't even want nothing from you, pretty lady. I
Yeah,
just want to buy you a drink. And I'm like,
yeah.
you could talk to me like, whoa.
Yeah, because it's so much of the others, like just like y'all have y'all experiences. There's, like I said, I've been turned down horribly a couple times. Try to embarrass a nigga, and that and if you're not as strong mentally, it'll probably change you or make you be mean back,
Right.
whatever, all that type of stuff, man. So rejection is crazy, man. But I think that's the bigger problem. It's the rejection.
Well, it's crazy because that's what I said on my video. That's ultimately the fear of friend zone, sex zone, because that it's not going nowhere but the friend or the sex. So that's the
Right.
ultimate rejection, right there. Like for real, like you just gonna holler at homeboy or you just gonna lay down with homeboy, but there is nothing of substance that's gonna be there. So all right, sis, go ahead, do what you gotta do.
Oh, I was ready. I was preparing my wrap up before
I
the
was just about to
announcements came
say,
up. Oh, you want me to go first?
yeah.
I think this one, just like I already said, this is a conversation that can be led by our men. But just like I said last week or in previous conversations, we have to have more conversations with ourselves. Be honest about what you really want, and then you can't be fooled by what zone or what is happening. But more conversations with other people and ourselves for sure is this. Because even to go to that, like Nisha had turned sex on into friends with benefits. We just try and give ourselves new titles that aren't even real life when it's really more black and white than we make it out to be.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
No, I felt what you were saying, but really, like, that's how you get trapped. Because you think
that's just what the definition was when we was growing up, right? Okay. So now to have a different title to it, it just makes you look at it in a totally different way. You feel what I'm saying? Because friend zone, right? Friend zone was ultimately that, but shit, some crossed into the friends with benefits, and they justify that by still dealing with that individual or whatever. Hold on. She said people have so many hidden agendas and trauma that they haven't dealt with, and unfortunately it's sad, but I don't have time to decipher between the two. Can you? Is it even possible to?
Man.
Like,
give them your social media, sis.
For real. Crazy thing is with the sex zone, you can be like, the sex is so good, but I don't see a future with this person. It's dangerous these days. Some people can't separate the two.
It's a gamble. It's definitely a gamble, but so is the friend zone. You know, it's a gamble. Like there's been, whatever. There's both gambles on both sides.
And it really don't help. And I'm not coming for nobody, but it really don't help. And it's super unfortunate that y'all are put in the place that y'all put in, because maybe it has been a delivery over the years. You know, fuck you, punk ass nigga, this, that, and that, next to drive. I'm not making no excuse. I'm just really trying to figure it out, because it got to be something that triggered, for them to just debo you for your information. Like,
and then there's times when y'all don't think y'all did anything or said something a certain way.
Yeah.
That really does, push them button, and you can't really know all the time. It's not like there's no rules. Like people don't come with, this is how I like to be talked to on their face. It don't happen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes y'all can be a little flip, a little sharp, a little whatever, and you don't realize it like that. And for that whatever reason, it puts him in a place where he feels like.
And we got a bad habit. Women do embarrass men in front of their friends too. Like sometimes you don't have to do all that. You could say no. Or don't answer. I'd rather you just blatantly don't answer. But people do get, but on both sides, and I think sometimes that comes back to guys like, I'm about to give you a taste of what everybody else is, and that's not necessarily.
It's not cool.
Because it seems like it never goes to the person that actually hurt you. It always go to everybody after that person.
Yeah, because that's how we do. We don't really heal after a breakup or after something happens. We just add new stuff to put on our list that the next nigga can't have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Instead of really trying to, look inward, it's always the other person. We don't ever really heal on the inside. And it makes, you know what I'm saying? The older we get, you expect to be treated a certain way, but I don't know how you expect to be treated on the low. So I'm gonna come to you with whatever date I'm feeling.
Right.
I think from just looking at you, what you would like. You know what I'm saying? I got a couple different tricks up my sleeve, so we can just do it that way. I can come at you intellectually. I can make you laugh. I can come at you spiritually. We can talk about music. We can talk about parenting. It's a bunch of different ways I can come at it. But I don't think men are, use discernment when they come in at women. They just see a fat butt
and pounce.
Maybe like, I'm sure she goes if you buy her a drink. That's kind of what we think. Y'all don't, for the most part, but that's kind of what we think. If I get her a couple of drinks, she's gonna be like, oh. So you'll buy the drink and she'll be like, thank you. And you be trying to talk. And she'd be like, oh, okay. You know how this like real dry, hoping he catch the hint, but he don't. And then he get mad and call you out your name, all the other stuff. He weak. I hate them types.
It just sound like it ain't. I don't know.
It's the rejection, man. Niggas hate some of them because you ain't never been forced to, to lose. Like as a kid from growing up, like you can really want some stuff and you get rejected. You ain't make the basketball team or you couldn't go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to get that in you as a kid. so you can be okay as an adult, because you will be rejected.
But that's a double-edged sword, though, brother, because it's like mugs ain't used to being rejected, and some have been rejected too much. You feel me? So it's like there is just no happy medium to when that individual is gonna snap. Like, you know, like what that's when we bring up the self-control. You feel what I'm saying? That's when we bring up the self-awareness. That's when we bring up, you know, the self-accountability, because just like you have the right to tell her no, she got the right to tell you no. You know what I'm saying? You can't just keep telling her no, and then when she finally tell you no, which we know situations didn't happen, now you want to, you know, take her out because she's finally strong enough to just be like, I'm good, I'm done. She just caught you cheating. How you gonna take her out? And none of it makes sense. I try. As parents say, give it grace, give it benefit of the doubt. I ask the questions. None of it makes sense.
None of it makes sense.
No, like it
because it's affairs of the heart.
All right.
If you don't say things, right, your ass the girl turns like, girl, that would scare me to be in a relationship. Like, I wouldn't want to be in.
Oh, and that just made me think of stuff, which is a whole nother day, because we get comfortable with saying we're catching flights, not feelings. When people need some more feelings, and you know, because they turn hard. I mean, it's a whole.
It's a mess.
That was something that they made up, lying to themselves to get through the friend zone.
Yep, hoping to get through it.
Hoping to get through the friend zone, sex zone. So I'm gonna just create this for me to feel better because I know what you're gonna do ultimately.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Like, I don't know.
So can you think of a way that a person can get out of the friend zone or get out of the sex zone? Can you think of something?
I think the long game with communication. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get off in a minute. I'm Gordon actually, but I think the long game with actual communication with intention is the only way to play in that situation. Because if the other person puts you in that zone, you can't put yourself out of it by yourself.
Right. How about you, Misha?
Like,
no way out of it.
No, because okay, like if you have a certain type of individual who is okay with the rejection and they just keep it moving, like that's the detachment right there, right? So certain individuals only gonna play around for so long. That long game, that ain't gonna work with everybody.
No, it definitely won't work with everybody, but if it's gonna work.
Sure, that's the route that one will probably take, but I guess I'm looking on the side of the FU individuals.
But my long game might include me throwing out, getting picked up by other fishes. You know, like it just is all a game.
Sure. But also, by the time it's circled around, who's to say that you're even interested the way that you were prior? Because you've been exposed to so much better or something different, or you know what I mean? So, no, my response is no. What about you?
I say, yeah, the long game is pretty much it.
But y'all patient. I ain't.
Well, it's like because you got it. You're not single. You got to be. It's a sad reality. You're gonna meet a lot of people that look good on the first couple conversations. You know what I'm saying? And then as you get into it, you see,
this ain't right.
Yeah, let me go on back up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so, but doing like. Some people be like, I've done that. I'm done trying. I'm not doing it no more. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? When most guys ain't like that, we do change what we're looking for, but we're not going to stop. We on the prowl for the most part, you know. But even in the sex zone, I have a good friend, man, who she was her and her little dude, they was in the sex zone, you know, only sex for a long time, and then it changed over. They engaged, got a baby and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm playing Paris right now. Okay, that's what I'm doing right.
Devil, that's right. She playing you, devil.
You can turn your mic down.
So
I'm sorry.
He had been around the world and right? Got back to the pub, right? Who's to say that she's actually being who he want her to be?
No, so that stuff.
Versa.
Yeah, that stuff you can't know. But but for me, it wouldn't be worth not going for it because she might be faking. Like, I'm gonna go for it, and then if you are faking, and I find out, okay, I'm done. It may hurt, it may suck, or whatever. But because I want whatever I'm going for so bad, I'm willing to gamble because it is a gamble. Even if you're not in one of them zones, and I meet you organically, you could be on some BS.
True, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna just see because I'm not afraid of rejection. I'm not afraid to be told no. I'm not afraid to go for it and it don't work. I'm not afraid of the embarrassment that come with thinking it was gonna work and it don't work.
You don't, yeah.
I'm just me though. I'm not. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna lick my wounds and I'm gonna get back out there in them streets and see what's up.
Jasmine said, a lot of people can't handle it well because the society we live in is so different. For example, as a kid, you can play a sport and lose or do bad, yet everyone gets a participation award. That fucks up the perception kids have on reality. Ooh, yeah. Girl. Ooh, I don't know why this statement triggers me so bad.
Get something to you, huh?
Perception is reality. Remember, I don't know why that bothers me so bad. I do not know. I don't. All right, okay, let me move on. Let me go. To me, the long game is for simps and women with low self-esteem.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta be a simp for love, though. Sometimes.
No, I wouldn't agree with you.
Yeah.
Don't be a simp.
Yeah. Don't be.
And so, I can see how it can become simp because I think I said that earlier.
Okay, baby.
All right, we love you.
Bye, y'all. Love y'all.
So you can definitely become a simp. You know what I'm saying? Like I was speaking about that earlier in the show, Jasmine. I'm not sure if you were on. When if you like playing the long game, how I'm speaking of is not buying stuff or doing for or like going out of your way and it's not being reciprocated and not being appreciated. That's what I think a simp is. And they, always fluffing her, trying to tell her the stuff that she want to hear type of thing. What I mean by long game is I'll be the friend, but you're going to know my intentions. I'm going to make them known. You don't want me like that. Cool. You don't want me like that. Cool. You don't want me like that. Cool. There may be a time when you want me like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the long game. And so guys, our pursuit is different. Y'all like to get chased anyway. Women. So it's like the guys are the pursuer. And sometimes it just don't work. But like I mentioned earlier, I've had a few different relationships where we were friends and then it turned into to more than friendship. She said, why would you even?
So, yeah, I was waiting on you to finish because I feel the same way Jasmine feel, which is what I kind of stated earlier, right? Like, I don't have patience. Emery says because I've been married for a long time. And when you're in this world, in this dating world, you have to have patience because of where it is or whatever. But I agree with Jasmine because if I gotta wait for you to circle around to see what's not there, and then you just come back to me like, oh, well, hey, let me give you a try. It's like, yo, fuck you. Yeah. Like I was fire when I first approached you. I was fire in the middle, and I'm more fire now. Too fire to be with you. Yeah. I don't know if that's a personal thing with women like me. I'm not quite sure. But the rejection was you saying I had to be in friend zone, and I rode that like we cool. But I closed that door once you said friend zone. Like it wasn't no more for me to wait around, hope for. Yes, boo. Like maybe that's because I don't know why I am the way I am. I don't know. I always related to men raising me, so I saw things that I didn't want to be treated as. Right? That's just how I learned about the world of game. So, and I also. Time is the most valuable commodity that you can walk around with. And it's very limited. So for you to put my time on a hanger and then just tell me to wait. That really goes back to you ain't all that you think you are, boo. You know what I'm saying? For me. Like, so I'm gonna keep on moving to see what's next at that next train stop. Maybe I would have missed out on a lot because of my way of thinking. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
so the difference is y'all are women and we're men. We're really not the same. It don't matter how much masculinity you have or how much, how good your cutoff game is. It doesn't match what true masculinity is. We're the hunters. We will wait because we really, at this point, we just trying to get it. At this point, if you put us in the friend zone, 9 times out of 10, we feel like we've invested a little bit of time or whatever. So if you're not trying to be our man, that's cool. But like I said, if we're fishing, we put out some bait, some stuff you put out 2 years ago, and it's finally getting a little nibble. I'm finna reel it on in, and I'm finna see what's up. If it worked, great. If it don't, great. I got a couple more lines out there. I'm not worried. I'm not on it like that. But for men, we'll do that because we're the pursuer. We're the one that's chasing. We're the ones coming after you. We're the ones.
But it's on both sides though, because we talking about friend zone, sex zone, right? Like
right.
About women putting guys in the friend zone and vice versa. So what I think what me and Jasmine saying, regardless, just the makeup of if a guy was to put me in the friend zone and he was to circle back around doing that hunting shit, I'm already hanging on the rack, drying out, dehydrating somewhere. Okay, like I ain't even in the field for you to like I've removed myself.
Yeah, but that is the difference. Is because our makeup is different. Y'all are used to being pursued. Y'all, for the most part, think you're a lot better than what you are. You know what I'm saying? Just in general, just the arrogance that we, and then mostly simps, I would say, have pushed, and then y'all been encouraged that you're a dime and you get all this stuff like that. It's not true, but y'all really believe it because you get niggas on you, and you think because you're getting that kind of attention that it equals that. Niggas trying to smash. For the most part, not every, because meeting you, they don't know how good of a girl you may be. We know that you may be sexy. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, and everybody's not like that. But that's just how it kind of goes. And if we've been on the hunt since before Jesus was on the earth, it would make sense that for people who are supposed to be gatherers to not understand how it, to feel less than by saying you're in the friend zone or the sex zone, because that makes, to accept it means you have to accept being less than the top dog, in that area. And so, of course, for people who are geared more towards emotional responses, of course, it wouldn't feel good to accept not being the top dog. But there's plenty of women who are strong and all this other stuff who are side pieces, which is just the sex zone. So maybe not the friend zone, but plenty of women who are just like you, Misha, who got the same overall outlook on life as you, are in the sex zone and are happily, they're maybe not happy, but they playing their role.
Maybe they are happy because that's what they're either settling with, being okay with, or chose, right? Yeah. So I can't be mad at her if that's the avenue she decided to drive down. I want to drive down the boulevard.
Yeah.
Okay? I as I told you prior, I know that if you put me in a friend zone 9 times out of 10, it's because it's somebody else that you feel is better for you. I'm gonna respect that, but it just ain't no wraparound, bitch. Ain't no wraparound. Like, that's done. And it's very contradicting and confusing when guys be like, oh, we want you to show us that, we da. So now when a woman pursues you because they doing it.
It happens, definitely.
Women doing it.
100%.
So you can't now come to me and tell me that I gotta, I guess, dumb it down, or you know what I'm saying? Like it just it's it's confusing. I feel like this is why I'm grateful that we have these conversations. Absolutely. Because it's a lot of blurred lines, a lot of them. And I don't, sex talk, that pisses me off. Sex talk really pisses me off. That could probably be another, and when I mean during sex, that's what I'm talking about, sex talk. I ain't talking about just talking about sex. I'm talking about when individuals talk during sex and they say things because it sounds good or feels good at the time, and now she or he then took him for what he or her and said, and now they like, huh? Once it's done, what? It's confusing. And
it's okay to listen, it don't have to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Or we don't have to, nobody has to really agree. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't change the reality of what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's been plenty of people in the sex zone, plenty of women, plenty of men who would love to come up. I want you. She's like, nah. And then the friend zone the exact same way. I don't think anybody signs up for it, but it's like if you would, there are some types. Like I'm a friendly person, so I know everybody who I may think is cute don't like me like that, right? I know that. That's just how I go. But if we can stay cool, and then down the line, we may, if I'm not in a relationship, obviously I'm not one of them guys. I'm not gonna be messing around. But for a hunter, it's like a guy who has multiple streams of income. That's kind of how guys look at baiting, fishing for ladies. Some of them are on you immediately. Some of them would love to, but their emotional stability won't allow them. Then there's some who just ain't on you like that. But you cool. They like having you around. So for the most part, nobody is saying, hey, you're in the friend zone. Nobody says that, it just, you can tell they're not responding. You have to reach out first. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's just, it's obvious. So, but because that woman hasn't said no, we'll keep her over here. Okay. I'll talk to her here and there, speak, maybe whenever we're around each other, we see how it goes. And that's fine for us because we have a bunch of those. So it doesn't have the same effect for most guys as it would on a woman who, was like, nigga, I need to be number one. I get it. I get it 100%. Let's read some of these comments.
Just say you're right. I've definitely told a man I loved him and wanted him to have my baby during sex, but didn't mean it. And he thought that was our reality. Now I'm a church mouse. LOL.
Don't be no church mouse now. Speak a little bit.
Well, if she can't control them words, yeah, you shut it up. Shush
it. Put a mug on.
You shush it. Because
What's up, Steve?
Go back and I did.
No, we missed one.
Oh, sorry.
We are different beings, but at the same time, you're willing to be friend zoned, and we come to you bent, crying. Okay, bent, cry, etc. about different niggas. Then we double back like, oh, okay, then let me give this guy a try. That doesn't sound weird to you, not at all, because we're not looking at you like that. Not you, but we're not looking at that situation like I'm her sloppy seconds. We looking at it for what it's gonna be. Now, if he likes you like that, he knows you've had other relationships, so he wouldn't be your first person to be, to be with you. If he's not trying to be with you for real, and he's really just, his mind is more on something else, I don't think it would bother. Well, it doesn't bother me that you mess around. I mean, unless you like no. If you saying no, like I don't like you like that. That for me is enough. Some guys, and I'm speaking because I'm the only guy here. I'm not speaking for all guys.
For sure.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? So It wouldn't bother me. I don't care none. That's not my concern. I don't care. I'm gonna help you out. You ask me about that thing. He did this, that. Well, this how you do. You got to be sweet. Go do this. Try that. I don't care. I'm gonna help you go. Go for it. Because I'm not looking, for myself personally. I wouldn't be looking for something long term from somebody who has me in the friend zone.
I guess I just learned a long time ago. If I could talk to you about a different guy, I have no sexual attraction to you.
That's not how most women think.
Well, I understand, which is why this is the conversation today.
Facts, if
I could call you, which is how oh boy ended up becoming my first baby daddy. I'm gonna just be 100. But I was able to call, like I used to have him call people on three-way for me, other guys on three-way, which I knew he liked me. But this is me showing you I don't like you. Like, me thinking it's clear. Mind you, I was 20, 21. Me thinking that I'm making it clear when in reality, no, you're not. He's just showing you that he will go to these lengths for you, which to me at the time was weird. But then my masculinity, of course, took over. And then I just bodied him. And it's like, okay, now I feel bad because I done what you done. And like Jazz said, let me give you a try. Boom. Got the baby. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, I learned from that. If I can communicate with you about another guy that I'm feeling, I'm not feeling you. I'm not. And there's nothing that you can do to alter that, because I was just talking to you about Craig. Like, and you still like me, and I'm telling you what I've done to Craig, what I want to do to Craig. But guys, they imagine themselves in that position.
Yes, absolutely.
Themselves in that position, because why Craig get it? I've been talking to your ass for 2 years. I've been here for you when blah, 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 blah. I mean, this with the guys are creeps. They are. Guys are just real deal creeps. And like Em said, they don't have no connection to the individuals that they're being creeps with. That's the time for them to be the creeps. It's not until they settle down that they got to be the gentlemen, the men.
Right.
But while they're finding that, they don't care. And they show y'all that they don't care. Emery has sat here for the last 45 minutes explaining to y'all why guys don't care. I like the way Jasmine asks questions because she's trying to make it make sense.
Yeah.
I'm right with her. Right. Yeah. It's just not the same. I ride with M because M don't demean us as women because we don't understand. Like he said, you don't have to understand. You just got to respect what the fact is. You can't change it. You can't alter it. He going to put you in the friend zone. If he wrap around and if you're open to it, y'all can hit the sex zone. That's what it sounded like to me.
Pretty much. And that's how, so even your baby daddy, he was in the friend zone. He played that role for a good long while. Then he finally got it.
Hold on, E. Listen to this. At this point, can I do a podcast as a guest one day? I love the realness between men and women on here.
Good luck.
Absolutely.
Good
Absolutely. That's why we created this, and it was very important to me for me to have a man's perspective because I could talk to y'all all day long from my perspective, right? But it takes Emery to come on and say, Misha, at the end of the day, you're still a woman. So that's when I had to exercise my right to shut the fuck up. And I'm learning right along with y'all because I've been married for a long time. So the game is totally different from what it was 20 years ago.
Facts.
What I saw is totally different from what the Urban Dictionary explains to me in new definition.
Facts.
So it's important to us for y'all to get it from a male and a female perspective.
Yeah. Because like I'm saying, like I don't speak for all men, but I speak from a man's point of view.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For the most part, For the most part, men don't care like that.
Mm-hmm. Unless they
we just don't. We just don't, and that won't change. It doesn't. However you looking at it, that's kind of like how some of these new modern women are looking at dating, like they feel like they deserve something that they're not qualified for because they're cute or sexy or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they legit think like, oh, I'm worth it. It's like, but do you want this $500,000 house? You don't qualify. These are the requirements for this $500,000 house. Well, but I got some other stuff. I did this. I went to school. I got a bachelor's. I got my own house. I got my own crib. I got this. I got that. Yeah, that's what's up. But it don't get you this. You know what I'm saying? These are the requirements. Well, I feel like it should be different. Good for your feelings. I appreciate you feeling that way. When you get these qualifications, come holler at me. Mm-hmm. Until then, get out my door. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of that's the reality of how things are. So there's a bunch of stuff moving today with the feelings and, you know, making sure that we're all safe and everybody feels like they can express themselves, all this stuff, which is all of that's needed. But at the end of the day, things are what they are for the most part. And for the most part, they won't change. Dudes are going to always come after girls. Dudes will take the back seat. Dudes, so the main person that does the friends, like who knows it and loves it, because I don't think guys love it. I think we may look at it like that's a part of it. Like that's a part of how some women get, like, you know, they don't have enough balls to say, I don't like you like that. So because you haven't said no, I'm still on you. I know it's a little weird, but if I play the long game, because that works. There's been plenty, not with everybody, but it definitely has worked for our favor. And that's the thing. Like we've been trying to get it since y'all was in the sixth grade, and you first got your boobs. We've been coming at y'all like crazy. Y'all been turning it down since then. The mindsets are just completely different, and it'll never make sense to the other one if you're trying to use your logic to make it to reason. We're complete, just like y'all are completely different animals. Some of the stuff that's just not smart stuff is what I'll say. Some of the stuff, but it is what it is, and it's like either you're gonna be gay or you ain't gonna date. Or you gonna date a woman. That's it. Them the options. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna date. You're gonna be gay or date a woman. So there's some certain things that just come with women. Like there's some things that just come with men. Doesn't matter, you know, how we feel about it or how well we can articulate our feelings about it. Things are, for the most part, what they are, and that's what men do in a family structure anyway. Men raise their kids for the for the world that it is. Whereas in a lot of cases, most women kind of raise their kids for what they want the world to be. Like, hopefully it'll be better type of thing. And that's just the kind of inward thing that we kind of have, which is why it should be balanced. It should be, you know, men and women raising our kids, because you need both. You need that hope for the future and for things to be better, but you also need that swift reality check for what it really is. And that's kind of how men move, which is why men will take that long road, because it's not guaranteed. Dudes got to do so much to get it. I don't think women truly understand that. You got to be tall, you got to have money, you got to have charisma, you got to say the right thing. I was talking to this one chick one time. She was like, man, you was so, I was ready to do whatever. And then you said something, whatever I said, it was funny, whatever. I'm like, man, I don't know that. I don't know what you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. It's so, you got to be, have money. You got to be stylish. You got to have game, and you got to go to her. You got to, see what she like and hope your game work. It's so much. Whereas you guys can just be there, paint your face up real good, push the titties up as far as they go, put on the tightest pair of pants you got, and you get it.
But see, that's what I always tell you, because even though she's going that route, doesn't necessarily mean that she's going to pull that line with the guy that she was looking for. She
true. That's true.
A few lines, but
that's
it ain't the motherfucker that she set her eyes on. You feel?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it don't be that hard for guys. Some chicks don't have those requirements, and they don't be ugly. Some of those females do not hold those requirements, because all they want is that attention. All they want is that touch. All they want is to know that at that particular time, they're important to somebody. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not always hard for. I'll be looking at some guys like, damn, like you ain't a virgin, like you actually got a kid. It's like,
man, that's funny.
Like somebody really was like, okay, let me give him a chance, and then, but it be the reality. Jasmine said 2 more things.
But these men hype up women that are cute, thick, and be bimbos. It's in the music, movies, etc. Are women at fault for that? They at fault, no, but do they perpetuate? Of course, absolutely, because y'all play into it. Absolutely.
I gotta agree with that one.
Yeah. I think men love the friend zone as well for the reasons you stated. They are waiting on their chance. I'm sorry, Em. That's weird. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to apologize. It should be, because that's not something you would want.
But we can't. We also can't keep saying that it's just guys that's sitting around or that's doing the long, what y'all call it,
the long game.
Yeah.
It's the long game. No, it's not. There's plenty of women. Listen, listen.
It's both. And I know some chicks that's been it around for 25, 30 years, waiting on him to be like, okay, we broke up. Okay, now you can come. I'm on my way. Like, they wait.
Yeah. Yep. I learned years ago women can who they want, but guys can marry who they want. Men definitely have a lot more power than women. Women, okay. The power, yes. Now, what's crazy is I do agree that the power has shifted. I believe that women still have the power, but too many of y'all give it away for nothing, and so so we do have it now,
right?
You know, not all of us, you know what I'm saying, but for the most part, men definitely have a little more. But everything our haircuts, the clothes we wear, the car we drive, it's for women. It ain't for other dudes. If they like it, that's great. I would love for my homeboy to be like, "Oh, Emery, you balling?" But I'm doing this for the women that I'm trying to attract. Because, you know, you do this certain, like there's some guys who wear, you know, skinny jeans, little shirt and sag and some ones. There's a certain chick that loves that. There's a whole type that love that. You know, them tats on the neck. We do that for y'all, for the women. But it's y'all give that power to us so easily. You get kids by the dumbest men on the planet. You know, time and time again. And then, you know, y'all want to chalk it up. Oh, I was young. Men don't have that. If you was doing some stupid stuff when you was young, you still paying for it. You in jail for it still. You know what I'm saying? The same rules should apply, because we all are young and dumb. And we all do stupid stuff when we're young and dumb. You know what I'm saying? But that is the reality, man. We're not the same. And so to try to understand each other from, you know, using our own knowledge is going to have us going around in circles, and we're going to call each other stupid forever. Because that's, you know, because we definitely just move differently. Men and women move differently. The weakest man and the strongest masculine, whatever type of chick, move completely different. It doesn't matter. Because there's stuff in us, just like there's stuff in y'all that's just completely different. And things won't change because we just want them to. We have to actively raise our own children. We have to first change our minds. Then we have to raise our children that way. And then hope our neighbors are raising their children that way to help change that generation.
Right. For them to see it's not just them. They're not weird, awkward. Steven said, sorry, I have to. Jasmine, no, not at all. Men just looking for the bodies and hair and all that, because it's men that want the real deal and want a lot more, way beyond all that cuteness and stuff. You can put it on and take it off. And also, it's the same men that don't like the friend zone. They want a real grown woman that know what she want and gonna make it known if she wants you or not.
Yeah. It's all about this. I mean, just how Steven said, man, if you looking for a woman, then of course, you're not gonna take their friend zone stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm
But that's
saying?
not, like I said, it's not going to appeal to you. My bad, I'm going to cut you off. But it's
You good.
not going to appeal to you because that's not what you're seeking.
Right.
So you're not even going to be drawn to that energy because she's showing you what it is. She's showing you what it is that she don't or do want. And if you're paying attention and you know what it is that you need, you know off top. Like I agree with Stephen 100%. It's not about the cuteness. It's not about the thickness. To me, it's about the heart. And tell me if I'm wrong, Em. It's about the heart. It's about the nurturing. It's about the loyalty, the dedication. What you're actually willing to put out, deal with. What can you handle? Because shit, me as a guy, this is what I got. You know, I need help here. I need help there. Like me, I have my sister-in-law here, and my sister-in-law has now seen me and my husband interact after 20 plus years. And I just catch her just looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's certain things that they don't do with him that I'll be like, fuck that. So she's, and I know that it's an admiration because I feel it. I don't feel no shaky energy. No, I feel love. I feel, wow, like how, like, you know what I'm saying? And I said that to say, when you're exposed to it, you understand what you're doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Us as women don't want to take the advice of the older women because for some reason we think we got to figure it out already. I'm the type of woman at 42 years old. If you can't teach me, you don't have no place in my life right now. Because I don't have the energy to teach if you're not willing to learn. Yes, it is weird. But as Emery said, it's weird to us because that's not what we're looking for. When I said guys are creeps, I meant that in a respectful way, but they are. The way that they view shit, imagination is a motherfucker for a guy.
Amen.
He'll create a whole playground on you. That's just a guy's mind. If you women took the time out to really understand your man versus challenge your man, you will be in a whole world, a totally different world. I was that woman who challenged him. I was that woman that wanted to prove to him what I was worth, what I had, what I brought. He beat me every time because he always brought more of what I was trying to prove. It wasn't until I stepped into my role. I'm the nurturer. I'm supposed to be soft. He's supposed to be hard. I'm about to whip his ass right now.
You feel me? Tell my nigga, get off that nigga, man.
But it's been a lot of learning. It's been a lot of talking. It's been a lot of compromise. Emery is telling the honest to God truth. If you want to be a side chick, friend zone, do that. But don't complain about it because you put yourself in those shoes. You had the opportunity to be like, nah, bro. We here. I know what you done to Keisha. For me to think you're going to treat me any different, I'm a damn fool. You loved Keisha. I heard you tell me how much I saw the things that you done to prove to me that you loved Keisha, and you still done this. A friend zone is amazing at showing you what you should and shouldn't deal with, in my opinion.
Ooh, that's actually pretty good. Straight up.
I think the worst thing you could do is have sex with your friend, especially if that friend means something to you. That's just.
Do you? I
do.
See, okay, now answer this one, because a lot of women say, you know, they want their man or their husband to be their best friend. But if you already got a friend,
okay,
help me out.
So my husband is my best friend on a different level. I've shared shit with my husband that I ain't never shared with my homeboy or my best friend, my male best friend. Right? Like the struggle that we done been through, the tears that we done cried, the loss that we've experienced together, right? So that has bonded us in a friendship status. Me and JJ ain't never been through that. Me and JJ just went to high school together. We've just known each other for 30 years. Damn.
That's a little different. What did he say?
Who the fuck is JJ? Hey, that's a nigga.
I know that's right, man. No, yeah, okay. I can see that, but I'm more so asking, like, because there are a lot of women who have guys who would probably be great guys who would treat them well, you know, who are talking to themselves in the inbox. You know what I'm saying? Or things of that nature definitely are completely in the friend zone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like our type keeps us single.
I agree.
in a lot of instances. We have types that
I agree.
Won't allow us, and then we have to force ourselves to embrace being single, like we happy about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, you ought to be like, downtrodden and just, just like, oh, I want to be, married so bad or whatever. Just being content. You can definitely be content and be single, but to rejoice in singleness, I feel like it's weird. Now that's what I think is weird.
To just be
we're not made to be alone.
Right.
As much as, because you've been hurt and you haven't dealt with stuff, so you like being by yourself now. That's what it seems like is the case in a lot of cases. But if you're a healthy and whole person, you don't want to be alone. You're going to actively be looking when you're healthy and you're whole. If you're not and you still stuck on how much Bobby Earl hurt you, how much Keisha smacked you around or whatever she did, and you still stuck there, then that's completely different. But if you're healed and whole, you want to be with somebody. Yeah. But some of us, a lot of us, are forced to embrace being single. And I don't think that's cool. I feel like we need to really just sit on somebody's couch and then go back. Because a lot of us, because it's a new popular thing, so people are starting to go. But are you sticking with it? Are you practicing what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, nobody just wants to be alone. We weren't created for that. Then you start to live through your kids. You don't want your kids to move out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you want to, keep them close. Because you need somebody. You need somebody because we're not made to be alone. So you need somebody. And if your kids are there and you've invested well in them, they'll be around. Oh, mama's this. Oh, daddy's this. And I'm saying this because my kid is leaving.
Yeah,
I'm still tripping.
I was just about, don't count on them being around because I was that parent that Emery talking about. Oh my God, these my babies. What am I gonna do? Let me stay in the same state as them. My grandbaby. Oh, what? How? Like then God said, boom. You remember when you asked me to make sure you and your husband are good? Arizona.
What was that?
Get there. Get there. Ain't nobody coming with you but the youngest one. The older two, they gotta stay here. What you gonna do? Hey, yeah, baby, you ready? Because my daughter don't want to come. My son don't want to come. So am I supposed to stop my life because their life is starting? No, my life is starting too.
Whole new chapter.
Yeah. I'm his wife now. Bye.
That's real.
I'm out.
That's real.
Couple more comments. You got it?
Okay. I agree. I had to look within and ask myself, hey, I've been a wife for 13 plus years now. I'm single. Well, for 13 plus years. Now I'm single. And I didn't like it one bit. Dating guys and wondering why I'm still single and had to realize I definitely had a type and had to figure that shat out. Then the next one, she says, I am that parent now that I'm single and the thought of them leaving scares me. Now I have a different aspect on that. Ooh, child. Yeah. It's a thing, because we do get like that because we're not really made to be alone. But we, in a lot of cases, I'm not speaking to you specifically, but in a lot of cases, we refuse to do the work that will allow us to get the spouse that we want. We figure, like I said earlier, we're kind of arrogant. We think we're good enough how we are. Yeah, we got a little flaw, blah, 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 but we think we're good enough. And we're really not. It don't matter. Whatever you've done, whatever you've been through, you can do more. There's a whole another level that you haven't reached yet. You know what I'm saying? And we kind of get stuck thinking that, well, it'll find me, like he'll find me. Like we think we're still single because the right person hasn't come along. And that's just not true. I would argue that's not true. Yeah. The person can come along plenty of times, a couple different of them.
So I think, Jasmine, tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I think going through what she went through, her kids became her safe space, right? Like she took everything and she just put it into her kids for her to be able, one, to have something to fight for. right? Because when you lose yourself in a relationship, you really get to a place of fuck it. But when you have kids, they help you stay the course. So I think with her, she feels like she made so many mistakes as a mom for the decisions that she made with her marriage to she got to make it right, and feels like she only got a certain amount of time to make it right. So she trying her best, to correct it before that time comes. And kids grow up so fast. So if I can give you any advice,
FTK.
don't listen to Emery. If I can give you any advice, forgive yourself. Before you go anywhere else, forgive yourself. Because you thought that you were making the right decision. Just because it went left doesn't necessarily mean that it was your fault, or that your kids blame you, or that you're a bad mom, right? You tried. It didn't work. We all done been there, done that.
Facts.
Let's start.
You on mute, Lisa.
Don't cry, baby. Let's start working on forgiving you, because that's ultimately us as mothers. Did I do it right? Man, why did I make that decision? I'm talking from experience, not just what a motherfucker done told me. Did I make the right decision marrying who I married? Did my kids deserve to go through that? What I can say is my role made my kids strong enough to stay in Colorado when I decided to go to Arizona, not knowing that I pumped them full of strength, thinking that I failed them. But them seeing me walk through that hard times with their daddy, they know as a man who to look for in a woman. It don't matter that her ass is big. It don't matter that her face is cute. What are you really about? With my husband being there for my daughter, taught her how to really look for a man to take care of her and not just lay with her. Trust your teachings. Ain't none of us perfect. We know, like Emery said, all of our kids gonna end up on the couch. We should have. We all some do.
Facts.
Or at least one of our kids gonna end up on the couch. I know 2 of mine, probably maybe 3.
I got one. I already know which one of mine.
Definitely gonna blame me.
I already know which one of mine going.
He called him my experiment child. Yeah,
fact. It's that firstborn. It's the first one.
You're right. I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm sorry. But the mother I am now, I'm able to say, I apologize. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Right.
I didn't have a good example. I didn't. No shit. I didn't. So I had to learn everything. Forgive yourself, Jazz. Let's start there. We gotta start there. I will be in contact with you because it's a little bit deeper with you. And I love communicating with you because I feel like if Crucial Convos don't do nothing else, Crucial Convos help Jasmine through the things that she can't talk to other people about because she don't trust. But as y'all already know, when y'all come to Crucial Convos, y'all can lay your own burdens down. Can't nobody tell your story for you. So
then we got a little story to help you out.
We definitely gonna have a story.
Between the 3 of us, we done been through it.
Work on forgiving.
Trying to help out, yeah, man, and just give some different perspectives, man. And it's always great having, women and men talking about relationship stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't think it's good to have just all men panel or all woman panel if that's not your audience. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if you want to get, both sides, you need, men and women together. And we don't agree on everything. And we always talk about stuff before and after the podcast. Like we're going to be on this thing for a little while afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Because we overdo the part where we're making sure that the other person is heard, and that just because we differ, it doesn't mean we got to be mad or take it personally. You know what I'm saying? Which is a plus, because a lot of podcasts, they definitely on it. They'll argue and be mad. People to walk off and quit. I'm not ever doing that, because you don't have to think how I think.
But we knew
your experiences ain't mine.
We knew that from jump. I think the one thing that me and Emery definitely relate on is I understand men better than a lot of women do. So a lot of times when we do come, I'm able to ask questions. That's what it's all about for me. I don't argue with him because, again, he a man, I'm a woman, and shit. Like he said, the road that I'm going down, he probably can't go, and he going down, I probably can't go. But when we meet,
that's real, man.
I can tell him what my scenery look like. When we middle, he can tell me what his scenery look like, and we can compare. You feel what I'm saying?
What keep happening?
Oh no, it's getting on my damn nerves though. Don't ever feel like you too good to take a lesson from somebody other than you. Like it ain't got to be your granny just pointing to you, or your mother, or your sister and brother. Like it can be a complete stranger. I've done it to at Emory too. Like we both have witnessed each other pour into complete strangers just because it was our energy that called them in.
Yeah,
that's just what we do, and for some reason we enjoy it thoroughly.
I know. My pastor was my godfather was asking me about that the other day. He was like, "You still doing your podcast?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You've always had a pastoral heart." I said, "Oh, no, slow down. That's about far enough." He's like, "No, I ain't trying to tell you to kind of go into the ministry." He was like, "But you have a heart for people, and that really, really blessed me to hear him say that, because
right.
I know that, but people always want to, they want to make you a preacher. Listen, my mouth, I tame my mouth for this podcast. I need y'all to understand that.
He do a good job too.
I do. I probably only slipped up like 2 or 3 times in the 3 years that we've been done it.
He do good.
And because right after here, listen, I'm back to it. But there's, and not just because I cuss, but that's not what I want. And I really don't feel like God is leading me that way. I think I touch who I'm supposed to touch. I help who I'm supposed to help. I've ministered to people with a drink in my hand.
Because let's be real. Let's be real. Everybody don't accept biblical talk, okay? Yeah. Everyone don't respond to biblical talk. Some people just need the real of get your shit together. Like, let's talk. You need to talk? Let's talk. What's tea? What's going on? Like, some people just need you to get into it because that's what they're used to, trauma. And some people who deliver aggressively triggers others to the trauma.
Right.
And then that opens them up to actually talk about, because now they're mad. Now they want to talk. They want to argue. They want to do whatever. But you have an easier way of scratching that surface and getting information. I mean, we are just that good.
It's different. It's different styles for it, though. Like there's, we can definitely, in different areas of the conversation, we get aggressive and we get passionate and get loud and get, our hands moving and stuff. That definitely happens at times. And then and everybody may not like that. And I think that's perfectly fine. Like everybody didn't like Kevin Samuel's delivery, but most of the stuff he said wasn't wrong.
Absolutely.
But there were people who needed his type of delivery.
Absolutely.
And who loved it. You know what I'm saying? So yes, some people didn't like it. And there's other people. I don't, I use him because he's not here no more. But if it's true, it's true. It shouldn't matter who says it or how it come out. Now I understand being triggered, but then you can't make other people responsible for your triggers. You have to get, after you identify them, you need to eliminate them. But we get stuck after we identify them. We think that's the end all be all. No, that's the first step.
Mm-hmm.
First step is identifying that there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Now you have to work to eradicate it, to get them up out of there. Because you'll be, that thing will happen all the time. Or like, if you're triggered by stoplights, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Or like if you don't like to fly on an airplane, but you want to travel and go places, and you want to come down to Dallas, see me. What you gonna do?
With me.
What you gonna do?
I'm driving.
You gonna drive?
Who?
You.
Let me tell you something, okay? We had this conversation the other day.
How many hours is it from Phoenix, nigga? Let me see.
Let me tell you. I am not driving anywhere else.
You done from the Phoenix drive?
The only reason why I drove beginning of the month was to take my daughter and my granddaughter to surprise my husband. That was for him. I regretted every second of that 24-hour drive. It was 24 hours round trip. Yeah. Every second of it. It was worth it. Don't get me wrong. But I had got so accustomed to flying. So I'm not driving nowhere.
So then if your trigger is flying and you're afraid,
I ain't going nowhere.
You ain't gonna go nowhere, or you gonna fix your your issue?
More than likely, I'm gonna fix my issue. More than likely,
That's
but
what I'm asking.
I mean, you also if you said am I driving, you ain't saying am I riding. It's a bus, it's a train. I'm just not driving.
Man, that's so funny.
I ride though. You said flying. There are alternatives.
I definitely said if you have a fear of flying, that's definitely the fastest mode of travel for anywhere over 5 hours.
100%.
It's the fastest. So, would you gonna do that for 2 hours, fly, or like the whole process maybe 3 or 4? Or you gonna ride for 18?
I'm gonna pop a sleeping pill and I'm gonna get on that
Man,
flight.
so
and Eric better carry me off when we get to our destination because I probably still
be like, I don't care how you get here, just get here if you can. There are hills and mountains between us. Who sing that, nigga? I need to find out. I'm bumping that tonight.
Spirit fingers. What is up with the spirit fingers tonight? what motherfucking what was it? Damn.
What is that?
Wayne's
World, yeah. Get the do. I remember that. I need to watch that tonight too. You can get me up on something. I'm gonna find Wayne's World tonight.
All right, I definitely what we try to do. Hold on just a second, just a couple more before we end it. I've had so many people in real life and social media that have asked me to start a podcast, but right now that's not my ministry. But I appreciate you guys. You can tell us what your ministry is. I love how people just decide to. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Just responding to someone telling Emery that message. Oh, yeah, you good. Yeah, you good. I love me and Emery didn't write this. We didn't write this.
That's true.
When I approached him, he said, I can't. I don't have time right now. This was probably 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Yeah, probably so. Dang.
I ain't got time. Just so happened, I guess I done the long run, the wraparound, okay?
Take the long game. I had to patch you in the friend zone. Get on about that, girl. Get on about here.
He made a post and I responded and he said, hey, yo.
Let's revisit this.
Maybe we should revisit that. And it's been up ever since.
I remember that, yeah.
So sometimes, you just never know. But what we typically do this season is we try to end the show with what we intended on you guys taking away. I'm gonna go first tonight.
Okay.
That's what Paris done before she disconnected because that's very important to us. For me, I want it to be taken away that anybody can be placed in a friend zone, sex zone if they choose to. You can't necessarily complain about your position when that's what you were okay playing. If you're a quarterback, then you need to do that. If you a kicker, then be that. That's my intention.
Jesus Christ. That was heavy. I don't know if I can. You should have went last, nigga. Got that. Well, let me see. 2 and 2 and 4. You don't want a friend. No. I would just understand where you're at. Most people are not titling it friend zone or sex zone. But there are some telltale signs. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if y'all only speak when you reach out, or if they don't respond to the flirty stuff you're talking about, if you can't get them on the phone, or if they keep changing the y'all hookup time, y'all supposed to date or whatever, or go on something, and they keep changing on you last minute, like no consideration. There's a million ways to tell, man, if you're in the friend zone. Just don't be naive. My takeaway from it is don't be naive, because sometimes you can go after, and I'm speaking from guys to a girl, when you going after a woman, you don't know if she's really on you yet. You may have gotten her number, but you don't know if she's on you until y'all start talking, and then you can see how she's talking to you in the midst of stuff going on, man, I remember. Okay, no, we at the end. Never mind. But it's it don't matter what's going on in their life. I'm telling you, if they own you like that, you'll know that they own you like that. Even if they're like shy or they're kind of hard up, they're gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? How they feel about you. Just read the signs and don't be naive. If you're in the sex zone, the exact same thing. If it's too much for you, if you don't want that, you reserve the right to stop it. You know, with that.
Period.
And so understand those. Don't be naive, and be honest with yourself. If you're okay being in that zone, be in that zone.
Rock it out.
There's no rules. Like, you know, I know we all have to be tough and show that we don't care, and that's like a thing now. But women don't like niggas like that all the way. Dudes don't like women like that much of the way at all. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of the culture that we're in right now. You know, gonna act like stuff don't bother you. That's not cool. If you're in that friend zone, and if you're okay with it, be there. If you're not, don't be. Either way, say something, and they'll probably, you know, because it's extremely hard. Nobody really wants to hurt your feelings. Like I think Jazz said earlier, you know, there's a guy she's talking to, whatever. You know, she ain't feeling him like that, but she don't want to hurt his feelings. A lot of people feel that way. That's why they get to the friend zone.
Mm-hmm.
Because they cool, like you don't mind being, you know, friends or whatever, but you don't want nothing more. So have those conversations, and then don't be naive once you realize which zone you're in.
And with that, y'all make sure y'all celebrate for the rest of this week, because this week is a celebration. My baby graduating.
You feel me? All right.
Thank y'all so much for rocking out with us this episode of Crucial Convos. I am your girl, F.L.O.R.
It's your boy, I Emery.
Catch y'all next time.
We in these streets.
Period.
Uh-oh.